you have a chance to look at the revision, Heather?
Yeah.
It's fine. All right, all in favor? Oh, afterwards, we awarded the bid. Okay, so we have a third set of minutes to approve of. We had a special selectmen meeting after the town meeting on March 3rd. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as written? Second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? All right. Old business. The results of the special town meeting for the marina project to go forward were 23 yes and 9 no. So the yeses have it and the marina project is going forward. So which brings us to the next order of business. Yesterday we had a pre-construction meeting and a contractual meeting where the contractor came and brought us his performance bond, and we met with the engineer and the representative from the MDOT, and the contracts were signed by him, but with the change order of about a $44,000 savings, and he did agree to that change order, and now we just have to give John Sutherland the authorization to sign the contract on our behalf. Do I have a motion for that?
I'll make that a motion that we put John to sign that contract.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion?
Well, the last motion that we made to accept this, to award this contract is pending.
And this pending, and that was what the change order was for, and he signed it.
So that covers.
Yes,
Yes.
that covers the reduction.
Okay.
So, any further discussion? All in favor?
Yeah. What do we have for a second?
Do you want to do that later? We can
Yeah,
do that in
we
the
can do
office.
that later.
Okay, thank you. All right, so for new business, we have Bob Lewis and Chris Sarr and Abby Manders here from ORPC, who are going to update us on their activities. Did you want to come forward, or
Yeah, would you like me to stand, or?
whatever you feel, whatever you like to do?
I talk with my hands a lot.
Uh-oh, you better, or stand right
Watch out.
here in the bed, I'll be careful.
First of all, thank you for this opportunity. I've not spoken before the group here, so it's a pleasure to be here. Let me say that as CEO of the company, we really appreciate the support that we've gotten from the town of Lubec. You guys have been great. So I thought I would cover a couple of subjects tonight. One is kind of where we are as a company and our project, and then talk second about this concept that we have about turning Bay, our site in Costa Bay, into what they call a center of excellence for marine hydrokinetic energy. At this point, it's the concept, but I want to be able to publicly talk about it, because then, over the coming months, if there's input, obviously like to have that. First of all, let me talk about where we are as a company. As you know, in 2012, we all made history. We installed the first hydrokinetic tidal project anywhere in the Americas. We delivered power to the grid. So that's in the history books, and a lot of people don't understand that, but we are in the history books. It's great, and we're very proud of that. And we're very proud of the roles that both Eastport and Lubec have played in this. That's the good news. The bad news with that project was that the performance of our system, although it was good, it wasn't as good as we were hoping for, honestly. It ended up costing more, and we had, as probably everybody knows, we had some reliability issues. Interestingly enough, the reliability issues we had nothing to do with our technology. It had to do with things that we bought off the shelf. But at any rate, so we had some issues, and as a result of that, we've gone into basically an effort to optimize the design of this system. In order to actually build out a bigger project that would make sense economically, we've got to increase reliability and decrease the cost. And so we've been on that for over a year. It's a major effort, and we've had quite a bit of success in that. That project is going to end about a year from now, actually a little less, probably by the end of this year. Fortunately, we were able to compete for, and we won about $6 million in funding from the federal government, $5 million from the DOE, and more money from USDA. So what our hope is at this time is that we're going to be able to raise the money and get our future unit in the water, hopefully the third quarter of next year. This unit will look different from the one you saw. The turbine generator unit that you saw, the 4 turbines, the generator, that basic concept will be the same, but we're adding some ducting, which basically directs the flow of the current more into the turbines. And instead of using the steel frame that we have in the bottom of the bay, we're actually putting what we call a buoyancy wing on top of it. So it's basically a wing that the PGU is supported from, and that'll be held in place with a tension mooring system. And the advantage of this new system, which we did some prototype testing this past summer, which was very successful, we're actually very pleased with the results of that, is that first of all, it'll be a lot cheaper, so it decosts this system quite a bit. And second of all, it has actually a lot less impact on the bottom, because it's just simply a mooring lines that have anchor blocks that would hold it into place. So at any rate, we hope to get that system back in the water, like I say, the third quarter or so of next year. And if that's successful, and if these improvements that we've made in the system, if we can show that in fact we've achieved those improvements, then we would hope to start building the bigger project starting the following year. And again, all of this is subject to the funding. I will tell you that raising money for new renewable energy technologies in today's environment is tough. That's what I spend really most of my time on. With cheap natural gas prices and just the way politics are right now, people aren't that interested in renewable energy, so it's a lot tougher. And whereas in the past we were more limited by, we weren't sure what how well our technology is going to work, and we were concerned about that. That's not the issue anymore. We know our system works now. We've proven it. We just have to make it cheaper, more reliable, as I've said. The constraint we have now is just the ability to raise money, and we continue to make progress forward. And if we could raise even more money, then we would make more progress. But we are doing our best, and we are making progress, and so we will keep you informed as always. How we're coming along this path. But hopefully, about a year from now, we'll be in a position to start increasing our activity again. And like I say, by the end of the following year, we'll be back in the water in the Calcutta Bay site.
Where's the location? Is it going to be the same location
Yeah,
it
same
was
location,
before,
exactly.
right outside of the boat school there, around that area up there?
Yeah, the project site is still the same site. Yeah. Now, where we actually launch it from, that's the most likely site,
Oh,
but
okay,
it's not
that's
for
where you
sure.
launch.
Yeah.
And if for some reason the cords that attach the turbine to the ground break loose, is that driven by itself only by current, or is it like twirling around and just floating? Worst case scenario, do you have some kind of, what would happen?
Well, if we had a severed mooring line, we would have a signal. We would get a signal, and we've had that actually on our other system. We have GPS.
Mm-hmm.
So, as an example,
Oh, so it's got a
if it moves
GPS
out,
on it. Okay.
if it moved outside of the parameters that we preset, believe it or not, we actually, in Bob's we actually get a message from Twitter instantly.
Oh, okay. That's good.
So we know where this thing is at all times, and we're in constant contact with it.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's just what I needed.
Yeah, that was the same with the other one. It was pretty cool because I could take my iPhone out and through the internet, through the connection that we have in North Lubec Road, I could be anywhere in the world and actually show people on a real-time basis what we were generating.
Nice.
What the RPM was, what the current speed was, what the water temperature was, all of that was right here. It's amazing stuff. Not only that, but we can actually operate it from a laptop anywhere. in the world. We can change the operating parameters,
Wow.
and it's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty neat stuff. Yeah, that's already stuff that we've proven. That's already in place. So,
Thank you.
Chris,
yeah, John.
one question I have, with the mounting system on the bottom of the water, I was at a public hearing, and one of the advantages that was stressed was it would be safe for the fishermen going over it. I mean, if it's gonna be attached to a mooring, is that gonna create any kind of threat or any?
No, it actually, the footprint will be smaller.
Okay.
Right now, this frame is bigger. I mean, if you're looking in plan view, if you just look at the TGU, it's a certain size. The frame is much bigger, and so it actually takes up more bottom space. Whereas with the new system, the mooring lines come straight down, and so the footprint of the system now is actually less than what it was before. So there's less likelihood that if somebody did encroach in this zone, that they would actually hit the equipment. That's one of the advantages of this one. Yes, sir.
Chris, I thought the original exclusion zone allowed for innocent transit of vessels.
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah.
of the bylaw.
Yeah,
Will this
no,
still
there's
be
no
the case?
problem. Yeah, the only thing you can't do is drag there, for obvious reasons.
Or anchor or dive.
Yeah, but as far as vessel traffic, there's no difference whatsoever.
Okay.
And one of the advantages of this new system too is whereas a fixed frame, you're absolutely at a certain depth, you can never change it. With this new system, we can locate the TGU in the water column where it's best and safest, honestly. And the water velocity changes a little from top to bottom. It's funny, every site is different, so we can actually put it at that level where we have the maximum energy density, which actually helps increase the efficiency of the system.
Absolutely.
So it's a major improvement. So hopefully we can raise the money to get this thing in the water next year, and we will keep you all informed. Yes, ma'am?
I have a question, I don't really know much about the system, but does it affect, surface current? Like, say you're in a small boat going over this thing, should I be worried
No.
about my bow all of a sudden
No,
turning
no.
direction?
First of all, we have about, at mean low water, about 60 feet of current
Okay.
between the top of our device and the water level, so there's no, and one of the cool things about our turbines is it's not like they're sucking in water or anything like that, it's a totally different principle. There's no disturbance really whatsoever. There's a little bit of a difference between the water velocity going in and coming out, obviously, because we're extracting energy. But within, 20, 30 feet past it, you're right back to where you were. But that's only on that horizontal level where the turbines are. Above it and below it is not disturbed. One of the good things, we were monitoring sediment transfer, what they call sediment, was there going to be, was this going to disturb the bottom so that you got, buildups of sediment moving around? And one of the things that we've shown from our past activities, that does not occur. So that's a good thing. So the benthic environment at the bottom really is pretty good. Although we will say there is a greater density of little critters right under our device now because they're not getting fished. So it becomes like an incubator. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, let me talk about the second thing just quickly because I want people to know about this. And so we're thinking about the Copcook Bay and all the work we've done there and all the money we put into this site and what other potential uses are there. And one of the thoughts we came up with is that it could be used to not just for our device, but we could test other devices right at this site, similar devices. So we've been thinking about this for some time, and we think it makes sense, and it would of course be great for this area because it would increase the economic activity and so lo and behold, the U.S. Department of Energy recently came out with what they call an RFI, a request for information, about a national center of excellence for testing MHK. The name of our industry, MHK, Marine Hydrokinetics, the acronym is MHK. So they did an RFI for asking for information about National Center of Excellence for testing and certifying MHK devices. So we got together with the University of Maine and a group in Maine that's called MAUI, which is Marine Offshore Wind Initiative, but it's basically an industry group of about 60 companies in Maine that is looking to advance the interests of renewable energy. And we responded to this RFI proposing that our site in Copcook Bay be designated as a National Center of Excellence, and that DOE invest significant amount of money in this as a research center, a learning center, and for other people to be able to come and test various components or devices or whatever within our site. And as we got into this, we're looking at this, and we're very familiar with everything else going on around the country. And there is nowhere else in the United States that has what we have in Copcook Bay in terms of, we have the underwater power and data cable. We've got a federally licensed site. We know that, the amount of studies that we have done on this site on fish and mammals and sediment transport and everything else is amazing. We know everything about this site. And very importantly, we have a workforce here where, people have worked for us. A lot of people have worked for us in this area over the years, and they know how to do this stuff now. And there's really nowhere else in the country where the people know this. So we have a trained workforce, and also, very importantly, we have communities like Lubec who have been embracing this and have been, honestly very good to us in terms of listening to us and letting us do these types of activities. That doesn't exist anywhere else in the country. So we submitted this response to this RFI. This just happened about a month ago. We have no idea whether we're going to, they're going to actually do something here. The normal process would be when they send out an RFI, they would follow it up, they use a lot of acronyms, with a FOA, which is a funding opportunity announcement, which means that they put real money on the line and say, okay, now that you submitted, if you qualified through this RFI process, you can submit a proposal, and they will put up significant, in the millions of dollars, to be able to develop this as a National Center of Excellence for testing MHK devices. So we don't know whether they're going to go to the next stage to a FOA, and if they do, obviously we're going to be getting very serious about this proposal. We'll be putting together a great proposal, and obviously before we do any of that, we'll be coming back to you all. We'll be wanting to get input. We'll be including as many organizations and companies or whatever as possible, because this could really be a great long-term opportunity for Copcook Bay. And who knows, maybe we'll be able to win a few $1 million and bring it to this area, and it would clearly put Copcook Bay on the international map. So we'll keep you apprised of that, and to the extent that you think about this or you hear about it, if you have any questions or concerns, whatever, please let us know. We'll commit to you that before we would do anything in terms of proposal, we'll be coming back to you and explaining kind of what our ideas are and how this thing is coming together. But it could really be a great long-term opportunity. I will also tell you, we've got our main delegation involved with this. They're solidly behind it. As you may or may not be aware, Senator King now is on the Senate Energy Committee, which is kind of the senior level policy-making organization in the country. So they have great influence over the U.S. Department of Energy, and Angus is personally very much behind this. So we're not above trying to use our political muscle here a little bit too, because we're up against the most likely candidates are a wave test center on the West Coast and one in Hawaii. So that's kind of our competition. We're kind of East Coast versus West Coast here. So
Well,
So we'll see how it, and we'll keep you apprised. It may be that nothing comes of it, but.
thank you, that's very,
We're on your
Very
side.
much.
very
No,
exciting.
thank you.
All your hard work.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Excited.
Sorry, we gotta drive back to Portland.
Good to see you. Good to see you. How's your daughter doing? Good? Yeah? I still love your life because
You are now.
Very good. All right, next on the agenda is the Lost Fisherman's Memorial. Where's my agenda? Here we go. Shelley and Jesse.
Wow.
Get the right angle for the TV here.
Oh, that's okay.
that'll work.
Yeah.
So every once in a while, we like to come down and update the board, and it's been quite a while since we've been here. In fact, we haven't seen most of you, except for Joanne.
Got board members.
Yes, as board members. So in the past year, well, we just turned 6 years old now, and we've been fundraising to build a memorial. And as, if you guys have seen our previous design, we have changed the concept a lot. We've raised well over $100,000, so we're ready to move forward to get the stone sculpted and have it placed. So we brought Jesse down as our sculptor to answer any questions and to explain the model to you.
I guess it was a few years ago that we presented another model, and after that I worked on more of the design around it. It was more expensive than this project, so this year, or the end of the year, we met with the committee and really just decided that, well, let's make it happen with the amount of money that's available now and get something rolling. So we took sort of the core of the ideas that people liked in the design that we had before. This one is going to be made all out of materials from Maine. Most of it from Washington County, probably the walkways will be from Hancock County. So stone will come from right in Jonesboro, which is this stone here from the Station Road, which is an active quarry. I've identified blocks to cut these 4 pieces out of. So this would be about 7 feet tall, and this is 5.5 feet tall, and it's about 17 feet long. There would be approximately a 30-foot walkway, which would lead in from just below the corner, kind of parallel, but further back and uphill from the breakwater going out. So you have sort of this same symmetry will be happening in the site, and will lead across, and you'd be able to look at this with the sea behind it. So it represents waves. The original design, we were going to put names on the outside, but people who did lettering were anticipating a lot of difficulty with how to wrap these names around the forms. So this open design on the inside, it's a little more intimate, and it gives us the ability to write all the names on these inside walls, which I think is an improvement over what we originally proposed.
Well, where would the breakwater be again?
The breakwater probably be parallel, same angles, but it would be down here.
This would be almost at the bottom of the hill.
The
This is partway down
Oh,
here.
yes.
And where's the walkway?
The walkway, if you're going down the boat ramp, you'd have to go down the boat ramp just a little bit,
Right.
then it's gonna cut in.
Oh, okay.
So
Yep.
the boat ramp and the marina would be
Right
basically
there.
here.
Mhm.
So
The
now
telephone
you go
pole
in
that's
and
right
then
on the corner would be
the
up here
breakwater is here,
somewhere.
so the narrows would be essentially.
So halfway down, you're gonna turn
Not
right.
quite half, not like
Not quite
a quarter of the
So
way
we're going down
down.
the boat ramp, we'll make a right, and then it's gonna be set over there on the.
And John Stentz has started a rendering. We're still working out the best angle. I thought he was going to be here, but I guess he didn't make it. And we had family stuff going on too.
Yes.
But that will be available soon for people to get a better sense of exactly where this is gonna be on the hill.
I like the concept anyway.
I really like it a lot.
I like it a lot
It's nice,
better.
it's like interactive.
Now
Now
there's
you
gonna
actually
be
have to walk
benches too,
through it.
actually, right?
Right, there is one bench that I also have a model of, but I didn't bring it in, and there's a 20-foot curved bench that will work as a retaining wall, which will give us the ability to fill in a little bit more where those wells are, the concrete wells, so that will hide them a little bit better,
Yeah.
and then it will drop the level to give us more of a level area for this. So we'll carve into the hillside a little bit, use that curved bench, and then it will drop down a little bit here.
So the
Oh,
walkway is
that's
about 30
great.
feet.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, that's what we quoted in the proposal was 30 feet. Last time we measured, it was 34. I mean,
what's
somewhere right in that range.
What's the base of
This is about 17 feet
5?
by, I think this is 12. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
4 feet.
4 feet between and then about 2 feet on the outside of the edge.
Yeah, there's a 2-foot border.
The 4 feet is for accessibility and so it's ADA as well as the walkway moving up to the monument.
Beautiful.
We spent a lot of time figuring out the slope and everything, and it should be a nice, gentle, I mean, the committee wanted to keep the handicapped accessibility, so this is a 5-foot wide walkway at a safe slope.
It's gonna be beautiful.
We're hoping to light it, so at night it kind of glows
Oh, that'd
inside.
be nice.
Yeah.
So we would be dry fitting all of this stonework in Steuben, so everything will be assembled like a puzzle here. We hope to have that done by the end of this year so that we can begin installation in good weather next year. And also, when all this is carved, the lettering can happen so it can be installed with the lettering already done. So we would be able to cut in spaces for lighting, and I've begun to research that.
Like recessed lighting, Jesse? is
Yeah,
that
it would be, somehow flush with the,
Yep.
with the stone. There would be a concrete foundation underneath all of this stonework. So these pieces will be pinned to that, so if, if the ground moves, the whole thing would move together, so you wouldn't get heaving of different pieces.
Beautiful. Yeah, very excited.
It's gonna be real nice.
But we love to go to meetings, but I'm really excited to start carving.
We know.
That is for sure.
Well,
Yeah.
is that gonna go ahead then with the carving?
We've signed a contract, we're on the way, so we're gonna wait for the quarry to,
Yeah.
Gotta wait
And I
for
checked with
the
them.
Neptune brides to come in.
That's
Right.
another fundraiser for it. We're actually fundraising now for the lettering on the inside,
Okay.
and then we'll have to fundraise more for
And
the
how many,
lighting.
how many West Michigan do we?
We have about 250 names so far. I know there's many, many more of towns that we haven't researched. So if anybody's got names, we need them.
And that's a significant job too, so if you do have the information, carving it, but just dealing with all that information and checking all of the names.
And there'll be also additional spots to add names and so
Right,
forth.
yep. The plan now is to have a space
Yes.
for an additional 100.
200 on the board, we're vetting the names for the people on it so that we're certain that when they go on, there's a degree of absolution that they are the right ones and that they're correctly
We don't
formed.
need any mistakes when it comes to
Right.
that.
But there's capacity for another 100 given this, and then there's a talk maybe somehow about upscaling it. There was some kind of a interest of that or something, but
We also wanted, with the names, do a QRS code on the sign that's down there already, just one of those little things that you scan with your phone, and it'll send them to our website, and then you can look up the history or the location of any of the names.
and a brief bio of the individuals for those particular.
Now, are the names just gonna be names of
Yes.
the year or?
No, just names.
Just the names.
Yeah, names, and if you scan the barcode, then you'll be able
Right.
to learn
About
more
the
about the
person.
Oh,
names.
that's really
So
high tech, I love it.
Yeah,
Sounds
and
good.
they're not forgotten.
No,
That's
that's
wonderful.
sweet. Very
It's a
sweet.
wonderful endeavor.
It is, it is.
Shelley.
Such a heart-wrenching.
Going back to fundraisers, we do have one planned for you on May 17th.
You do, what is it?
It's gonna be, we're gonna take over Gary's Sunday Fun Day. I have 3 guitars coming, Attila Varel from Portland, and Frank Petoskey from Portland, Bob Ardern from Lindbergh, and they're gonna be here all weekend. We're gonna have all kinds of things, but we're gonna end up at Annabelle's, and probably Jordan Jones, he's already signed up for it, and maybe, you know, a few select guitarists, and have a jam, and all the money's gonna go to you guys.
Well, thank you. That sounds like fun.
And Queen Neptune's coming as well, or Queen
Yeah.
Neptune.
King Neptune Prize is coming. That was a $5,000 fundraiser last year. So we're gonna do it again.
And that's April 11th, is it not?
Yep,
April 11th. At what time?
3 in the afternoon down in Frank's, Dog Side.
Just get your wedding dress and show up.
That's right, in your clam boots.
Oh, right, in the clam boots.
Any questions that we can be helpful with?
Any questions, anybody?
It's awesome. I just think it's beautiful.
Yeah, I like the new design even better.
I really love it. Yeah.
The fact
Oh,
that
I didn't
it's
see
Jonesboro, Corey stuff too,
Yeah.
it smacks of
That's
local.
wonderful. And you can all the stuff from me, it's great.
Can't
Yeah.
wait till it's done.
We'd be
Really
happy
happy
to
to
do
have
a
you.
studio open weekend or something like that at some point when things are really taking
Snow's
shape.
melted.
Right. Well, not when we get started, but maybe, you know, towards the end of the summer or early fall when people can really see how it's
Yeah.
coming
Yeah,
together.
seeing Jesse's studio and all the big
Yeah.
machinery
Big
that
toys,
it takes
yeah.
to do that is
Yeah.
incredible.
And then we'll have the detail of the benches and the full, you know, scope of the way it's.
Yeah.
The mock benches are all, looking over.
Well, thank you, Jesse, and thank you guys
Thank you,
so
guys.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
What I wanted to mention about the Gold Coast and the Gold Coast Scenic Byway, they've just designated the memorial as a turnaround, as the Gold Coast Scenic Turnaround. So all their maps will come down Gold Coast.
Yes,
So
wonderful.
we are trying to coordinate with DOT as much as possible, that's a federal program, and they also do, I think DOT owns the boat ramp and some of the
Yeah.
surrounding
Yeah.
land. So we're at least keeping them constantly up to date about what we're doing in case there's any chance to coordinate any of the border areas.
Oh, that's good, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thanks so much.
I just want to go ahead and do the thing. Let's see what else we can do. So we will, we're gonna hold on number 3. So we need a motion to, send a letter of support to Lawrence Johansson, and speaking of the Gold Coast Scenic Byway, we had agreed to send them $750 matching funds to, privately funded $750, and I understand that Rudy has already raised that $750.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she has it already. So,
Okay.
do we have a letter for that?
I make a motion, we sign this letter of support for them.
Can you read it? You want me to read it? Okay, well, thank you. Sure. Fabulously written. Larry and Crystal, the town of Lubec Selectmen, wish to express their support for the installation of a main DOT sign in Lubec showing the map of Gold Coast Scenic Byway. Lubec is proud to be a gateway community into the byway. As a sign of our support, we plan to contribute up to $750 towards the cost of the sign and its installation. We recommend that the sign be placed in the park northwesterly across Water Street from the Lubec Post Office. The park provides a clear view of the FDR Roosevelt International Bridge to Campobello. It is on a much-traveled road, but easy to get to by foot. It's nicely landscaped to encompass the sign and already has 3 benches that encourage use. We look forward to working with the WCCOG and MDOT to develop additional appropriate interpretive signage as future scenic byway funds become available. Very nicely done. Thank you, John.
Make that a motion.
Good, Brenda. Do I have a second? Discussion? All in favor? Alrighty. Fred, try to sign under your name. No, I'm just- I'm teasing you. Yes, good for you, John Hancock. All right, what is this here foreclosure update? Do you have that? We have a sewer foreclosure update, John's gonna take care of.
Okay, right now the date is March 27th. We have 2 accounts right now that are in danger. Randy is in contact with both parties. Do you need another one?
No.
Right
Right
there.
there.
Oh.
Right there.
Sharon.
Oh, Joanne's got this.
So, and that means this is the amount in foreclosure, and they just have to come up and
Small
pay
amount.
this?
Yes, yeah.
Small
They're both very small amounts.
But it's still in arrears, how much does that have to be in arrears to go in foreclosure? I mean, in lien or whatever, this is a lien, right?
Yeah, it's not a dollar amount, it's a date.
Date, which
I
is
mean, the date
a
here
year from when it's due, or 6 months?
is about 18 months.
18 months, okay, very good. So what, do you need a motion?
No, this is just, information
Information.
only. We pass them out, the board gets a chance to look at it. And,
All right, then, what's number 6, main DOT construction? I don't know about that. What is that?
okay, I've been talking to Will Gorno, he's with, Maine DOT Small Harbor Improvement Program. They're having a document training class. The date here, April 1st, the class is in Portland, and I was talking to him about a class in Augusta. He informed me at the meeting yesterday that on April 7th, they're gonna have a class in Augusta, and it's for document training, it's for the Small Harbor Improvement Program, but it's also, for documentation on the grant for the sidewalk. He seemed to think that where I had 2 grants, this program here would help me in documentation, giving the state what they need and what they're looking for. So I was asking the board for permission to attend the training.
Do I have a motion to John to attend the DOT construction
I'll make that
document
motion
training?
that he's gonna attend that.
Do I have a second? Discussion? All in favor? Okay, thanks, John. Okay, the budget committee meeting will be for selectmen only, the initial one, April 18th at 6, I believe, or March 18th.
March 18th,
sorry.
next Wednesday.
March 18th,
Um,
6, wishful thinking. We can all attend, that's okay with everyone?
Anybody have any issues with the date?
What's that one?
The next one, we have an appointment for Amanda Lyons to the Shellfish Committee. Do I have a motion, Amanda here? Hi. Sorry, I missed that meeting when you were there.
Okay.
I'm really glad you came. So do I have a motion to appoint Amanda Lyons to the Shellfish Committee?
I'll make that
Do
motion.
I have a second? I'll second that. Discussion, all in favor?
Thank you, Amanda, and thank you.
Sorry, go ahead, favor?
Yep.
Well, show up tomorrow and get sworn in.
Yeah, you still gotta come to town.
We have 10 days. 10 days from
So
today
we're
to come
like
in and,
gotta- I just gotta show up any regular time?
Well, you come here and.
well, when it's
When
open.
they're open.
Yeah.
No, but you have to come in front of that clerk or one of the office people will have as a notary and they have to swear you in.
Okay.
All right, now, we have an appointment for Mike Scavani to be a planning board associate. Do I have a motion for that?
I'll make that a motion.
Do I have a second? I'll second that. So, discussion, all in favor?
Welcome aboard, buddy. You can run, but you can't hide.
I've been on the planning board before.
There we go. We need you. We have here to discuss the setting up of the stage at Stockwood Park for music events. Fred has had a stage, I think we've all seen, kind of a mobile stage, and a really nice one, and I believe he's considering giving it to the town. And did you want to share a little bit about your feelings about that, Fred?
I would like to donate it. It's been used strictly for town events since it was built, originally it was built for the bicentennial concert. I can't sign and talk. And what else did we do? We used it on the marathon a couple times. Fourth of July, I think, Harvest Towel. And I don't have any personal plans to use it anymore, so I would love to donate it to the town and suggest that it be parked pretty much permanently at the park, whatever you need to do to chain it down so you can move it if you needed to. But if the town would accept it, I'd really like to. I think it would be a good addition to the park since we're trying to build up the park anyway, and start working on regular events and such.
Do I have a motion do I have a motion to accept the,
Yeah, I'd like to see the public works, crew take it down there and put it on a, maybe we can.
put it on a little
Put it on,
platform
yeah.
so it doesn't wobble around? Yeah.
The
that would be
question
nice.
I would have would be winter storage. Where would we put it?
Well, it's not, it's upside
Out in the
down.
winter right now, so
It's outside
we
anyway.
would keep it there permanently.
It just needs to be having a flat level surface. Mike?
Well, all fairness, it has been stored outside. This winter may have been a little hard on it, so I think before it's moved, maybe someone should put a
Look
set
at
of
it.
eyeballs on it to see if maybe it doesn't need some shoring up before it's moved.
Oh, yeah,
I hope we would do that,
absolutely.
of course.
It is. Actually, we've done the discussion of that, actually getting a second on that. So,
Well, we haven't had a motion or a second.
Yeah, so we need a motion, who wants to make a motion?
you get started to make a motion.
Yes, I'll make a motion that the town accepts the generous donation of the stage, removable stage from Cops Cook Music Company, Fred. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Discussion.
Now, I could suggest, well, one thing you want to consider is, do you still want to be able to move it, assuming that, yeah, it's survived the winter, it's a good point. It's in as-is condition. But the other thing is, when you install it there, do you want to still be able to move it for your events elsewhere? So, things like that, you
Well, we
want
don't
to discuss.
We can discuss that.
Yeah.
Well-
You don't want to keep the roof on, in case you did that.
Right, that's what I was thinking. It'd be too quick to put it on concrete or something.
Well, as always.
I guess going forward, we'll,
About the money.
about we accept the stage, and if it's not something that we can't move, then it stays in Stockbridge Park, and I think.
What budget is gonna support this stage, because it's not gonna sit there forever without needing stuff done to it. Then if it does need to be moved for an event, it's going to be cost for our public works crew to get down there and move.
No, it's cost you a couple $100 every time you've moved it in the past.
So
As long as you had to haul it from wherever.
we need to realize, if we accept this, it's a generous donation, but there will be costs involved to the town owning this.
And I think it's a great segue leading up to our budget committee meeting, because I think we need a line item for a Department of Parks and Recreation to include something like this. Because one of the most viable parts of the community is that they have fun together, and I'm all for the project.
But I'm just saying, don't forget.
Yes, thank you, Heather, that's why we have you part of the board. So, with that said, Mike?
I appreciate Selectman Lee's observation, and if you want the best of both worlds, possibly investing a little bit into it so it can be moved, because, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't that the information podium at the marathon?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so it was made to be portable. It doesn't make sense to make it permanent.
I agree.
And it could be used in different locations, so for a small amount of money now, as much as we don't want to part with it, it may make the gift seem like make more sense.
So where does that leave us with, thank you, Mike, for that observation. Where does that leave us with our motion?
Motion from Carol to accept, second from Joanne.
So and the motion is that we accept the stage as is from Fred, you mentioned as is, he had. And we can pick it up obviously when we get a chance to, correct? Where is it being stored, by the way?
No idea.
Richie Wilcox is growing there.
Oh, okay, you know what All right, then.
I've done this thing and you haven't heard me?
If there's no further discussion,
Actually, Dan had a good point. Would you like to make that?
Oh, yeah, I was just thinking that we could also, in some small way, and budget could certainly probably deem what would be appropriate, but certainly any organization that wanted to use it might be
Should
some
make a
very
donation.
small token
Yes,
donation
I agree.
that would work towards that.
Yes, and they should fix anything with brakes while they're using it.
Correct.
Sure, the marathon will begin on the 28th of June.
I'm
Yeah, if we
sure
get
it
all,
will.
if we get all 800 runners running over it or something, you know, we'll want some repair.
First, I will recuse myself from the vote on this.
Oh, right then, good thing you said it at the right time, Dan. So all in favor? Thank you. We have waited for you, Dan.
And I'm waiting for a question.
We have not, what question?
Did they win?
Thank you.
Oh.
Yes, we did.
Girls basketball won. We do have one last thing before we go to open the bids. I was at a Leadership Institute meeting this week in Callis, and amongst other things, and they suggested that it would be really great to take this hour and a half online Welcome Maine free comprehensive customer service training tool. And I'm asking the select board to have my backing on suggesting that everyone at the town office that has to do with the customers, which are the taxpayers in this case are our customers, that they take this Welcome Maine Happy training. And you get a little certificate and a little pin that says Welcome to Maine when you're done. So, do I have a motion that we can suggest that John have the employees take this training?
Employees in the office.
Yes. So do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Now for what we've all been waiting for, yet again, the opening of the bids for the sand and salt shed. Let's hope it's very nice. I don't know. Here's another one. Let's see if we can move that.
How many are there?
Four.
Okay, these first ones are up there. Let's see how that- Okay, the first one we're opening is from Federal Program Integrators LLC, Indian Island, Maine.
Federal what?
Federal Program, I'll send you the envelope down. So you guys can see what it is. All right, let me get it open. I'm getting good at this. All right. There you go. Can you take that for me, because I can have trouble reading the thing. I'll just write it down. All right.
Stephen Holmes.
Okay, we have here site work, $235,325, and sand and salt shed itself, $374,754. A total amount of bid is $617,839. I will pass this down to you if you all have that over it. Okay, I'm not good at opening these envelopes. This one is from Donovan Construction, Crawford, Maine. Here. Well, the site work for Donovan Construction is $115,982. The sand and salt shed is $502,595. Whoops, sorry, for a total of $618,577. What they mean of sealed bids, you can't put in them.
Where's Johnny Carson?
No, because I nearly killed somebody with it one time when it went flying, and I don't want to poke you. This is from David P. Trask and Son, T-R-E-S-K and Son. There's an envelope for that. This is, oh, that's good. It's okay. It is here. Oh, here we go. Wow. Site work, 65,000. Sand and salt shed, 306,490 for a total of 371,490.
Wow.
That's better.
I'm very happy.
Wow. I'll tell you, it's nice to me. Take a picture of
And
it.
that's a beautiful blue.
There we
It is a nice
go.
blue, I like that. Can I have a
Picture
picture?
next to this bid.
It's legal too.
That's blue like the ocean.
No crayons on there.
And we have
And
another.
with a little seal.
Oh, we got one more. Whoa, baby.
Okay, one more.
One more.
All right, this is from Jim Carver.
No, this is that's really best for the number.
Oh, he's got blue, oh, this one's blue too.
Oh, we like blue.
Blue's been good, blue's been good for us.
This is Carver.
All right, all right, Carver Construction. Site work, 135,000. Sand and salt shed, 378,000. With total price of 513,000. So, let me see that.
Carver out of Jonesport?
Yeah.
Yes.
Got to pass everything.
Yeah.
Well,
So the current low bidder is David Trask at 371,400.
yes, so I'll just say it a little louder. The lowest bidder is David Trask,
The apparent low bidder.
parent low bidder, thank you, John, 371,490. The procedure now is the bid packages will go to the engineer, and she's coming down to review them tomorrow and going over how the specs relate to her requirements. And then she will give us a final authorization to go forward with the lowest bidder. We are planning on having it simultaneously apply for any additional funds that we would need above the grant. And formulate the warrant that needs to be sent to MMA while she's reviewing. And then we will have a special selectmen's meeting on Thursday, the 19th, to sign the warrant. And then we are planning to go to town meeting March 31st, Tuesday, March 31st at 6 o'clock at the school. Hopefully the low bid does get approved, which doesn't look like we'll need to be borrowing much of any money. It'll be really great. So hopefully we can work that out. Public comment?
When we had our last special town meeting, a question was brought up regarding notification. Along with all of the paperwork that your office supplies showing the public the details and the facts, could we also have another display board showing where all of the ads were run and that, so that all of these questions are answered before we go into deliberations?
I know that you have been up here on the past. The rule is, and I'll double check it again, that 7 days notice for a town meeting, special town meeting is required, of which the day before you give to a citizen who posts the warrant in 4 locations. McFadden's, Bar Harbor Bank, the IGA, and the town. That is the extent of the requirement. No other additional
I didn't have a
advertising is
question,
done.
a problem.
So,
I mean, we go.
we will also put it on the town community bulletin, Lubec Community Bulletin Board on Facebook, which a lot of people read, I believe.
Yep.
And that's something we can do additionally.
We
Thank you.
did place an ad in the Quality Times last time, which is good, but not required.
Well, Mike is, simply just asking, can we have that as part of the handout there that this was done?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
In
exactly what
other
I'm
words,
asking.
this was done when and where they were
We did,
posted.
we did what was.
Oh,
right.
okay.
I had a
And I
motion
can put that,
Right.
you get me, I'll put that on Facebook.
Okay, very
To go to the center, not on
As
Facebook, to
soon
the
as
town
we
site.
get the,
Yeah.
as soon as we get the correct figures. But the actual breakdown of everything is usually, you have to come to the town meeting. Or you can come up here and get, the handouts prior to the meeting. And we can put all that down on Facebook. Any other public comment? Cecil? You got that penciled in, right?
Yes.
March 31st. Thank you. Okay, was there anything else? What about committee updates? Oh, yeah, that's it. Committee updates.
Shellfish Committee, next meeting will be April 13th. Harbor Board, next board meeting will be March 18th. CDBG Town Improvement Committee, this committee will begin working in the upcoming year. We do have some ordinances and some stuff to look at, so we are gonna have to get this committee up and going. Marion Transfer, the next meeting is April 14th, is that correct?
Second Tuesday.
Washington County Emergency Medical Services, next meeting is March 31st at 4 p.m. in Medibent. Revolving Loan Committee, the next meeting will be April 9th. Recycling Committee, the next meeting will be April 13th at 4. And the Economic Development Committee, the next meeting will be March 19th at 6 p.m.
And the Public Works Garage Ad Hoc Committee starts on the 17th at 7 p.m.
On Tuesday. And then it's gonna go forward each Tuesday except the second Tuesday of the month
What's the date?
17th.
at 6.
Yeah.
At 6?
7.
At 7.
So start off. Should be a good meeting.
Yeah, that should be fun. Bring your own, no, as long as it's green. All right, if we don't have any further public comment, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?